Welcome to our show, The Radiance of Life. Throughout history, people have spoken of a subtle radiance surrounding life. Ancient writings describe halos around saints, auras of energy around the devoted, and the spark of life distinguishing the living from the departed. Today, science is beginning to glimpse this same mystery in the phenomenon known as ultra-weak photon emission, sometimes called the human glow. Using sensitive instruments, researchers have discovered that every living cell, from brain neurons to skin cells, emits tiny flashes of light. This glow is far below the threshold of our eyes' detection, yet it remains steady and continuous. Remarkably, the glow fades and disappears when life ends. These findings invite us to consider what this hidden light might reveal about the nature of life, the activity of the mind, and the deeper light spoken of in many traditions.
The story begins in the 1920s with a Russian scientist named Alexander Gurwitch, who was conducting what seemed like a simple experiment with onion roots. He positioned one onion root tip towards another, separating them with a piece of quartz glass. What he discovered changed everything. The receiving onion showed increased cell division compared to control onions that were blocked by opaque barriers. Gurwitch realized that something was passing through that transparent quartz, something he couldn't see, but that was definitely there. He called it mitogenic radiation, a mysterious signal that seemed to encourage cell growth.
Nearly a century later, researchers at the University of Calgary recently reported in the Journal of Physical Chemistry Letters that they had captured this glow with ultra-sensitive cameras. Their findings confirmed that living cells steadily release faint photons and that this phenomenon is universal across organisms, including plants. To put this in perspective, the glow is about 1 billion times weaker than a candle flame, and yet it is continuous, like a silent whisper from every living cell. That such a delicate light persists in all organisms suggests it may play a more vital role than we once imagined. Researchers also note that this light could one day serve as a non-invasive tool in medicine, helping to detect illness or monitor the body's state of health through its natural glow. Here, we see science moving closer to what mystics have long taught, that light is not only a symbol of life, but a real sustaining force. Professor Fritz Albert Popp and others propose that biophotons may help regulate biological order, as if the body itself is guided by an inner radiance. In an interview with Professor Popp, bioenergetic expert Harry Massey highlights how cellular light, or biophotons, reflects the body's internal harmony. He explains how stress and disorder affect this light and why coherence at the subatomic level is essential for health.
When we're stressed, the rate of light emissions goes up, when it actually needs to be in equilibrium. According to these studies, health is a state of perfect subatomic communication, while ill health is a state of communication breakdown. We are ill when our waves are out of sync. And having coherent light is literally having good vibes.
Professor Popp explains how photons in living systems hold an extraordinary order, more like laser light, enabling them to guide metabolism with precision.
The photons have to be very coherent. They cannot be ordinary photons. The coherence time of an artificial photon is in the order of, say, a nanosecond. The coherence time of the photons of a laser is about 1/10 of a second.
To put that in perspective, a nanosecond is 1/1000th of a second, while 1/10 of a second is hundreds of millions of times longer. Professor Popp's point is that the light in our cells stays coherent far longer than typical light does, which gives it the capacity to regulate and unify our inner processes. He extended this insight to nutrition, showing that fresh plant foods like organically grown fruits and vegetables, radiate strongly, while highly processed foods emit almost no measurable light at all. This suggests that our diet directly nourishes the radiance of life within us. When we choose fresh, living foods, we may be feeding that coherence, helping our inner light remain strong and harmonious. Beyond physical health, studies show mental states also affect photon emission. For example, meditation practitioners displayed higher emissions, suggesting inner calm enhances the body's natural glow.
One study looked at meditation and our overall mental state and how they could affect the biophoton emissions. In this study, participants who regularly practiced meditation showed higher levels of biophoton emission. It's as if their bodies were glowing more brightly. This suggests that relaxation and positive mental states might increase the light within us.
How remarkable! Relaxation, prayer, and mindfulness, practices long honored across cultures, now show measurable effects in the body's light. Inner peace seems to shine outward, while turmoil clouds our radiance. Science, with its instruments, affirms what spiritual traditions have described in their own ways, that the state of the heart influences the light of life itself. And yet, even with these insights, the mystery deepens. For religions across the world tell us that the light within is not merely biological. It is eternal, divine, our true nature. In Christianity, Jesus told his followers, "You are the light of the world." In Hinduism, the Upanishads proclaim, "The self is the light of all lights." In Sikhism, Guru Nanak spoke of the inner flame that burns within every soul. These teachings converge. Life itself is luminous, and to know this inner light is to know God. This brings us to the teachings of Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, who reminds us that the inner heavenly light and sound are not abstractions but direct experiences available through meditation. Just as science now observes photons leaving our cells, spiritual practice allows us to perceive a higher radiance, not with our physical eyes, but with the wisdom eye within.
Now, enlightenment doesn't mean you go around with a light on your face. But it can happen. People will see you with light around if they have their wisdom eyes open. Now, we see Jesus' drawings and Buddha's pictures, or the saints have halos around them. That is their light. So actually, that's exactly what it means by enlightenment, because they have light. Actually, there is light. But this light, we cannot use our normal mortal eyes to discern. We have to use the wisdom eyes, or the heaven eyes, or the God's eye, the Buddha's eye, or the Tao's eye, whatever name you call it.
Here, the connection is made complete. The light of the body that science measures, the light of wisdom that religion teaches, and the light of the soul revealed through practice, all point toward the same truth: life is radiant, death is its cessation. But the eternal self, the true light, shines beyond physical decay. So, what have we learned? Science shows us that living beings glow faintly and that this glow ceases at death. Medicine may one day use this to detect disease and protect lives. Spiritually, this glow echoes the eternal light spoken of across traditions, the light that guides, comforts, and uplifts. The question before us is not only how we can measure this light, but how we can live in harmony with it. Can we nurture our inner radiance through peace, compassion, and remembrance of the divine? The ancients answered yes, and perhaps in our age, science is beginning to agree. Enlightened viewers, it's been a pleasure to have you with us for today's show, The Radiance of Life.